Of the Tampa Bay Real Producers podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made for real producers by real producers and with none other than Tampa Bay's real producers, such as our guest today. We have Whitney Boland here in the house. How are you, Whitney?
Good. How are you, Don?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you again. We've gotten a chance to know Whitney a little bit from really her huge heart, I would say, in the charitable world. All right. So we're going to talk about that a lot, I would say, today. If you could tell, this frame that's sitting here is for an event that was done recently, earlier this year, called Freedom 4 Miler. It was a 4-mile run or walk.
You could walk or run it.
Either one, depending on the shape you're in. You could walk it or run it, but Whitney will talk a little bit more about this event, I'm sure, in just a few minutes. So as you can tell, we featured Whitney and her involvement with this particular charitable event in one of our issues earlier this year. I believe it was our September issue for 2023. So you can check that out at TampaBayRealProducers.com. But let's start a little bit, Whitney, with your background for people who might not know you. So did you grow up in this area in Tampa? If not, how did you find your way down here? And when did you start getting involved in real estate?
So I'm a true Floridian, born and raised. I was born at the Seminole Women's Center in Seminole, Florida. So I've been here my whole life, never lived anywhere else but between Pinellas County and Hillsborough County.
Nice. So you are a local yokel, huh?
I am a local yokel. We're very, very rare. I got into real estate and I was really interested. My dad is a custom home builder. He built majority of the Bayou Club. He's built Reddington Shores Yacht and Tennis Club.
Some beautiful neighborhoods.
He got into building after he owned Solar Guard Window Tint. My dad, which is very rare, and I don't think you know this, is the inventor of the molecular structure of impact-resistant window film, hurricane window film.
Wow.
And he made that with my uncle. So he owns Solar Guard, and then
nice.
he is a high quality custom home builder. So he doesn't make anything under $1 million at this point.
Still does it
to this day. He has a significant wait list to work with them. And then now he also does pools with it.
Nice.
Because
what's the name of this company?
T.A. Smith Homes and Development and Triton Pool and Spa. He actually doesn't even have a Google site anymore. If you catch him, you catch him on a cell because he's very blessed.
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to. He recently just built a $500,000 lazy river at someone's house in Tampa, and if you see it, it's absolutely outstanding. Wow. It needs to be on an HGTV show, but
we should have a party there.
We should.
Yeah,
he will.
We just did a holiday party last night. I was telling you, at this beautiful home behind us near Cold Breath Isles, and it was custom build and not what you just described, but it was a gorgeous property for sure. So we love to try to do some of these parties at some of these gorgeous homes that Tampa Bay has to offer.
Yes.
Whenever we can. So you grew up like kind of watching that side of the business and learning.
High quality.
Yeah.
It was really important to my dad to deliver something that Tampa Bay has never seen. A lot of our track home builders will not be named here, but
sure.
they throw up some houses very quickly. A lot of people don't know that foundations need to cure for a significant amount of months to actually be structurally sound. And that's something my dad really dove into and really wanted to make sure the longer wait time, the more custom builds that take longer are actually the highest quality. We live on a peninsula of sand and people's houses crack and break. My dad's houses he owns a home on Madeira Beach, and it is rated up to a Category 4 hurricane standard with breakaway walls on the bottom, and it has never cracked, settled funny, nothing. So that's what he builds, is extremely high quality homes that can help withstand hurricanes. So
very cool.
I grew up in that.
Did you end up working in the business at all as you were growing up?
Yeah, I was the person who cleaned the construction sites and helped my dad in the office and answered the phones. And then I turned around and met my husband, and he moved me to Hillsborough County, and it was hard not working in the custom home industry with my dad being about an hour plus away. So I decided to take it residential and get my residential real estate license. Working under my dad, I could do a lot of things, but I couldn't work and do what I did for my dad with everybody else. So then I brought high quality work to real estate. A realtor is...
What year did you get licensed?
I am... Probably 12 years ago.
Okay.
So that's my thought.
Okay.
So I can't remember. It's all a blur after a while.
Yeah, and that was that with Signature Realty or no?
It was not. It was not with Signature. I worked with another company.
How long have you been with Signature now?
Probably 10 years.
So it's been a while.
Yes. Okay. They're a great company to work with. Kathy Kennelly, as you know, she was amazing. She taught me majority of everything I know, I'm very proud of her and Kevin and what they've done to the real estate industry. They're amazing.
Very cool. So in your experience, Whitney, when you got yourself licensed, you started getting into did you pretty quickly dive into the, retail side of the residential world, or were you working with builders at all? Was that a niche that you found and what really wanted to serve in the beginning, or what was your experience like in those first couple of years?
So it's easy to work with builders for me, understanding the business.
Sure.
Some builders, that are track home builders don't like me because I can catch things very quickly. So it was very easy to jump into the builder side and just explain to someone they need a realtor. They have to have a realtor for construction, especially a realtor that understands how construction is built. Mm-hmm. It's so important to understand from the builder side how construction is built. And a lot of my team, Carrie Carr and Felicia, they both come from that building side. And Carrie used to work for Ryan Homes for a long time. So I actually look for agents that understand quality of built construction as well as the residential side. So I worked in construction, helping people, build new homes with other builders, but I really honed in on that residential side and really tried to figure out what was wrong. 87% of people don't go back to their realtor, and I pulled that in Tampa Bay.
That's a crazy stat, isn't it?
It is 87%
don't use the realtor more than once.
In Hillsborough County. So we pulled ours, and over 97.8% come back to us.
That's awesome.
So that was really what we wanted, was to change the word realtor to where people liked us again. Back in the day, people didn't. And now almost every single person who's come to us, especially our first-time home buyers, they don't understand the process, and they're very happy. And then our second, third purchased home buyers, they're like, is this how it's supposed to go? I wasn't aware that these steps were in the process. I'm like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to go. So
what do you think, Whitney, are some of the keys to that? That's a massive discrepancy, right? 87% of people who don't, statistically speaking, use I don't think that's probably true for our particular audience of the top 500 agents, because there's a reason why they're top 500 agents, but we all know that there's over 20,000 licensed agents out there, right? And most of them, I think, make up that 87%.
Yes, they do.
That you're talking about right now. So what do you think are some of the keys that would have that be the reality? Compare it to your reality, which is very different, right? 90-something% who do end up using you guys more than once. What are some of the things that you think are keys to getting that type of a result?
So I would say when it's structure, it's all structure. When I got into real estate, I was excited to help people, make them smile and get into homes. And, every realtor says, oh, I love a flexible schedule. That's not true. As you know, it's hard to catch me on a daily basis, but structure, failure, learning the faults in yourself and being honest with yourself as a realtor and understanding you can't do it all alone. And each client deserves 100% of your attention from multiple people on your team and staff. So there's 287 tasks just to do on the listing side. We've written it out. And we know those tasks. And there's 162 on the buying side. So understanding the pieces that other agents are missing, and we have a full list and breakdown of exactly what each client needs. So once they list, it's a process and it's a checklist, and we go through that checklist. We have a customer service manager who calls our clients constantly to make sure that not only are they happy with our agent, but they're happy with our team and our staff. We have over 9 on our staff. I'm very proud of everything that they do. They deliver an extremely high efficiency quality of real estate. Priscilla's been with me the longest. She's been with me for 8 years. So if that tells you longevity of, my employees being happy working with us.
How many did you say you have on your staff, Whitney?
9.
9 employees?
9 employees. And that doesn't include agents. So, yep.
Very cool.
And then I also do real estate coaching.
I think just the attention to detail that you can speak to with the 287, you think you said, listing, checkpoints, and 160 whatever on the buying side. That's really cool to hear, because I'm sure a lot of top agents are aware of those steps, right?
Yes.
But to actually document them and have it as a checklist, because a lot of times just providing something visual to a home buyer, whether they're a seller or a buyer, just shows that you have your stuff together, right?
Amen,
and that you actually have thought through this before, and it's not new to you, and you know exactly what they're going to experience, and that creates trust. It builds credibility that that somebody is going to see that, I think, obviously, when you can provide a checklist like that. So I love that. I think one of my mentors years ago taught me that if you want to have a system, it needs to be documented.
Yes.
Right?
Everything.
You can't have a system in your head.
Nope.
You can think you do, but if it's not written down, if it's not something that you can check off, it's not a system.
It is not.
And you definitely seem to have done that, and I'm sure and done it in more than just this way, but that's really a good example of what would make your organization different, right? Than some of the other ones that are out there. So I think that's really, really cool. In your experience, Whitney, like, have you gone about this more as just like organic for the most part? Has your business grown through organic connections, referrals, that type of the business? Or have you invested resources into lead capture flow? And where does most of your clients come from? What's worked well for you in that space over the years?
So a lot of our clients are recurring from several years of, my father and then growing into what I am today. A lot of people know us just from hearing from a friend, no, that's not how real estate works. Or actually, we get a lot of expireds and canceleds from other people who have talked to us. They'll say, a horrible story that they felt, and actually our clients are our advocates. So that's about 50% of our business. The other 50%, I'm in a coaching program. I'm very proud of it. I'm also a real estate coach. I coach students all over the United States,
nice.
Montreal and Canada as well. So I know Google My Business. I know Google Screened. I teach on it. I've spent thousands of dollars from experts in the industry to learn omnipresence and Sphere. So we do get a significant amount from Google. My phone rings probably once or twice a day with a new client that's interested. So our biggest,
a lot of people out there don't know about like LSA ads, and
we're very good at it. So we have over a 50% turnover ratio on all of our Google ads. We're very, very honed in on that. And we've been working with a YouTube specialist, and we're about to jump into a huge YouTube algorithm as well. And I'm very proud to say that, we look at everybody's Google My Business, and ours is by far performing higher than a lot of other people's organically too. We can teach our students how to do this organically with no funds.
Very cool.
So it's kind of nice to be able to help the underdog when they have no money in the industry to learn how to make $100,000 in their first year. And I'm very proud to say my students are amazing. They're making hundreds of thousands in real estate all over the United States and in Canada.
Cool.
So very
And that's
proud.
not affiliated with Signature, or
it's not affiliated with Signature, but it was given to me through Kathy Kennelly and Kevin. I'm very blessed. I was going to quit real estate after a sinkhole home. I still know the address in Valrico to this day. I can recite it by the back of my hand and tell you exactly the names of the clients. But I walked into her office one day after 5 failed transactions, almost quitting real estate, and she's the reason I'm here today.
That's awesome.
My broker is. I'm very proud.
Yeah, it's good to have a mentor that can be there for you in those tough moments, right?
Yeah, I almost a mom too. She told me, no, I'm not quitting, and here, go here. So
that's cool.
It's very awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And so your coaching program, is that your own business, or are you working as a coach with some organization? I'm partnered with Craig Proctor Associations. Okay,
so I work with them. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud to say that I'm one of their top coaches. That did not come without a lot of failure and grit. I believe that failure is an intricate part of being a top agent, and not just a little failure, like some moments that make you break.
Yeah.
And I think that,
and what you learn from it, right?
Yep, exactly.
What lessons you can take from it. I'm a big believer in that too. There's a book that even John Maxwell wrote. He's a leadership guru out there.
I love John Maxwell.
About failing forward, right?
Yep.
That's the name of his book. And it's just that principle, like whatever true failure is, if you don't learn a lesson from it, right? Because a lot of our biggest breakthroughs tend to come after some failing moment, and what exact lesson we're stealing from that. So
exactly. And we have to recognize that, top agents, I think every top agent that I've seen and worked with and been with you with at these events, there's a part of them that's extremely humble and blessed to be there.
Yeah.
And I believe that is an intricate part, and that's what makes a top agent who they are: failure and humble, and recognizing when we're wrong and fixing it and getting over that hump to get to the next step.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It's been one of the takeaways I've had in my interviews with these agents on the podcast or just over the years in the magazine. It's funny. A lot of people think that to be a successful real estate agent, you have to be cutthroat and you got to, beat the competition.
And they think that we are.
Right.
They just come talk to us.
That's
We're
not
so
been my
nice.
experience at all. The people who think that way or who actually act that way are the ones that aren't in the top 500.
Yes,
right? It's the ones that actually do live with this element of compassion and genuinely care and want to really serve. Those are the ones who tend to really be the wildly successful ones. At least that's what I found. So it's been fascinating. I'd love to talk a little bit more about your heart for serving and giving, especially with different organizations. I know this is not the only one.
It is not.
That you're involved with, and it seems like it's become a big part of your life and a big part of your business. So where did you start to develop this kind of desire for being involved in charitable work and events and, finding ways to give back and helping out organizations? Like, has this always been just who you are? Is it something that happened because of anything particular? Like, tell us the evolution there.
So when I was young, my parents taught me to give back. I went to Jamaica when I was young and built schools and did karate and all those things with our missions groups and giving back to the community. I've been to some of the jails in the area, and I've preached the word and stuff like that when I was young. So I was brought up very Baptist. I went to Indian Rocks Christian School and First Baptist Church of Indian Rocks with Charlie Martin as my pastor, and then Jeff after that. So I was
I think
raised
Hulk Hogan
giving.
goes to church there now.
Yeah, so it's a huge church now. It wasn't when I went to school there. It's huge now. I was one of the first graduating classes in the newer church building, so it's huge, and I still set my feet in there. So I was brought up giving. I think
Tony Dungy had a prison ministry too, didn't he, in Tampa Bay?
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of people, we would preach, and I've gone to Jamaica several times when I was younger, so that happened. And then when I got into real estate, it wasn't for monetary reasons. I was brought up privileged, but I learned very harshly from my parents' teachings that I needed to learn how to do it on my own. And my dad was like, here you go, out the door. And so it wasn't for a lack of,
So you weren't handed anything.
I wasn't handed anything. If anything, with my dad being who he was, I was probably tougher. I am my dad's first child, even though he has two from a previous marriage. My mom had two, but I definitely had to work for everything I had. And that was not because they weren't great parents. It was because they were great parents that were tough, which I loved. I didn't love at the time when I was younger, but I loved it. So I wasn't handed anything. Monetarily, I did well. And then I got into real estate and said, I want to give back. I want to give what my parents gave to me and the opportunities I had going to a private school and doing these things. I really, truly want to give back and give other kids the opportunity to learn and go to college and private school and take them off the street. And then a lot of this journey and a lot of where it came from was me and my husband have been married for 9 years, and we tried to have kids, and it just didn't work out. God has other plans. So I donated over $50,000. We did a 50 for 50 homes for $50,000, donated back to charity. And we took over 18 additional foster children off the street with Forgotten Angels in Valrico, Florida. That's awesome. And we handed a $50,000 check in the middle of COVID when everybody else was suffering. We handed a $50,000 check to take kids off the streets awesome. in Hillsborough County, which was, they're like an extension of me. They're my kids.
Yeah.
So that really got me started in it. And then I met my agent, Carrie Carr, kept telling me about this gala, which is tonight in Tampa at the Tampa Museum of Art near Curtis Hickson Park.
Nice.
And she goes...
For those of you watching on the live stream on Facebook or our YouTube channel, you can check out the gala tonight if you want to hit it up.
Yes, it is sold out, but there are some auctions if you want to go in. There's a silent auction.
Nice.
We've raised over $250,000 for charity with Milo with Iron Eagle X, who is a military contractor. I'm very blessed to be connected with him. He's an inspiration. He's self-made himself, and he's amazing at what he does. But it was my agent. She goes, your husband's military, and now he's federal, and hey, let's do a Christmas party by giving back to charity. And I'm like, no. The first year I said no. Second year I said no. Third year I'm like, okay. So I went to this event, not a dry eye in sight. We're one of the sponsors for the event. We buy a table.
Your team?
Yes. So our team gets to go with their husbands, and because we're an all-female team currently right now.
How many agents do you have again?
So right now we have 4.
Okay.
So, and that, with as many office staff as we have, 4 is a great number to have. Yep. So, and they can knock out numbers very well. I'm very proud of them. So went to the first event and it was amazing. They treat you like royalty. They thank you for everything you do, which is really rare Like another sponsor to do Iron Eagle X, throws this huge event every year, and 100% of the proceeds goes back to, Gold Star Families, which is families of our fallen. And I went, and my first year was last year, and unlimited drinks. I know realtors like that. If you want to come sponsor, it's unlimited bar. It's great. Overlooking Curtis Hickson Park, and it's beautiful, and it's Christmassy, and it's a gala with fine dining. And, if you've never seen your husband in a suit, definitely this is the event.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And then Liette Reback is the founder of Believe With Me. You can look her up on believewithme.com, and it's for our fallen. Our fallen are so important, and we're a base established Tampa Bay, MacDill Air Force Base. So with our fallen, they have served the ultimate sacrifice, and MacDill Air Force Base is right here at home. She went on stage and she said, we have a Freedom 4-miler in Tequesta, Florida, and can someone bring it here? And I was just the crazy agent at the time to say, sure. So we just did the inaugural one last year, and we pulled it off in 30 days, which if you know Hillsborough County.
That was the one this year.
Yes.
Right.
It was the very first one.
The one we did the feature on.
Over 300 people registered to run. We were very proud of this event, extremely proud. So we brought awareness for the first time to runners, which running in Tampa is important for a lot of us. I don't know if you run, but I definitely do.
I don't. But I admire people that do.
Yes. So, and if you don't run, there's a ton of children activities. We do a snowball fight for children in the middle of July.
That's something they would enjoy. I have 5 little kids, as you know, so they would definitely get a kick out of that.
1,500 snowballs for a snowball fight. We do a cadet dash for the little kids where they run to cupcakes at the end. We're super excited.
That's awesome.
So we like to integrate the community, but
you're going to do this every year now, you think?
Absolutely. It is the closest weekend Saturday to always 4th of July.
Okay.
And you can register at Freedom 4-miler at believewithme.com. Just look up Freedom 4-miler in our events. Tampa, not Tequesta, because there's 2 in there. And you can register right now before prices go up in January.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now I remember that's why I didn't go this year is we always travel right around the 4th of July. We were away. But I mean, it's an amazing event. You guys did an amazing job putting it together as fast as you did. Obviously, it's for an amazing cause as well. Were you at our Stars and Stripes gala that we did about 2 years ago for Real Producers?
I don't recall. It
was at the Tampa Firefighter Museum.
Oh, yes.
So I bring it up just because we partnered with the Tunnel for Towers organization.
Yes, I just ran their race. I love them.
Yeah, and there was a great, I mean, as you know, they have that, for Gold Star Families, they have that community in Pasco County.
Yes, they do.
And that was right when they were building it. I don't even know if it's completed yet. It might be. But at the time, we were raising funds to try to just bring support to the Gold Star families that were going to be getting those houses up there. And it was a great event. I think we had 200 and plus agents there that attended, and it's a great little venue too, that Tampa Firefighter Museum. It's a cool spot for a charitable event, especially. So anyway, yeah, we did end up doing that event with Tunnel for Towers, but this is what you're describing is a similar cause from the helping to work with the Gold Star families.
It's similar, but I would say I've ran Tunnels for Towers in Pasco. I just ran it. They gave a house to a beautiful family with the House That Love Built. If you've never heard of the House That Love Built, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
They hand homes to people in need.
Yep.
There was not a dry eye in sight at the Pasco run, I will say that. Even I teared up several times, and I know them, who they are, and thank them for everything that they do. Mission Barbecue was there, which, as you know, help out our law enforcement and our military several times. Mission Barbecue, if you haven't gone, you need to go. It's amazing.
Good food, too.
Oh, so best barbecue. Oh, and my mom's from Alabama, so when I say best barbecue,
that's right.
that says something.
That's a high standard.
Yes. So, but this event is a little bit different. It is not a 5K. As you're running the event, currently it's at Al Lopez. We would like to outgrow it. It is 4 miles dedicated to 4 specific fallen soldiers. So as you're running or walking the event, we allow you to walk it as well. You are learning about the soldier that dedicated mile is for. As you're walking, you learn he loved Miami Dolphins. So then there's a Miami Dolphins cheerleader on the side cheering, or someone dressed up as a cheerleader. If their favorite song was We Are the Champions, we have people on one side blaring We Are the Champions, and we have posters in the ground and stakes, H stakes throughout the whole event. So each mile you're learning about that specific fallen soldier. So you're learning the fallen soldier's story, where he was deployed, potentially where what happened to him, how many family members he has, who he left behind. And I will say, as you cross the finish line, if you're reading the signs, there is no way to not have a dry eye.
That's awesome.
It's very unique. So Tunnels for Towers tells you about the fallen.
Right.
And I love their organization. They've been around for so long.
They have a great website too. You can go on their website and you can read the biographies of different people that they've helped.
So if you're not a reader,
I love what you just said. I think that's awesome. I mean, you make it interactive. I think it becomes more real when you get to know those sides of the people. And
the Gold Star families are at the finish line, which is very emotional. Thanking you for being there, supporting them. We have our Gasparilla Pirates. So Gasparilla's big in Tampa Bay. I'm a Gasparilla pirate myself. I love it. Huge plug for Gasparilla and everything that they give back to the community. So Tunnels for Towers, wonderful, and I'm blessed to have them. But if the Gasparilla Pirates and our local Gasparilla, Mustang Sally's, KBR, Crew Blackbeard's Revenge is who I'm with, they are starting to immensely get involved. And we even had the pirate ship at the event on our first year, and we'll do it again and again. So we're hoping to eventually bring it to Bayshore. So the more signups, please. We want to shut down Bayshore. That's the goal. So,
awesome. Well, we got to help her out, right, guys? So let's see what we could do to promote these different programs. If you want to learn more, I mean, Whitney, what's the best way for someone to just kind of learn about all the different organizations that you're involved with, Whitney? Are they on your website? Is there a way for people to connect with you on stuff if they have causes that they would like to? I think for some people, there's a lot of people I've interviewed where they want to give back more. They don't exactly know where or how or where to start, right? And I think you've done a great job of just taking action and, organizing and getting people like rallying a cause, right? And I think that's a real testament to who you are. So I could see people out there who might just want to help you and support you and learn from you on how you've done it, in rallying these different organizations. What's a way that somebody can kind of connect with you if that's the case?
So it's very easy to find us online if you just need to call us. Just Google Buy with Boland. We're very good at our omnipresence. We pop up right away and click call us, call now. There's also a Calendly link on there. You can schedule directly with me if that's what you're wanting, or with any one of my agents. It's very, very easy to find us online. We do Worthy Cause Wednesdays. So if you have a cause that is near and dear to your heart, we'll be more than happy to share the story of your worthy cause. I do support local. It is very important to me to support the underdog, the local charity that's struggling, not as many large. So I would like to note that in the process that happens sometimes. The local, hyper-local, Kennedy Cares, there's so many different organizations.
Yeah, it really is.
So you can...
You say that again? What do you do on Wednesday?
Worthy Cause Wednesday. So on all of our social media, stories, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, pretty much if you name a social media, we're on it. And we do Worthy Cause Wednesdays, and we can share either the charity of choice or a Gold Star family or something of that nature. And
that's awesome.
Every single Wednesday we post it. So you're more than welcome to reach out to us for that. As for helping and learning what I do, you're more than welcome to learn what I do, but seeing what I do and helping volunteer, we need a significant amount of volunteers for the Freedom 4 Miler. And I'm also looking for, another real estate team that would help partner with us. Many hands makes fast work. So I am no stranger to collabing with other huge real estate teams in the real estate market, and I love it. I love watching teams come together. So if you're wanting to collab in something like that or bring your team to the gala, I would love to support our MacDill Air Force Base and our fallen.
I love that. You should talk to J-Mac, man. He's all about the military.
Yes.
All about helping out with veterans and different organizations like that. So, but Worthy Cause Wednesday is such a great idea. I love that concept too of just using that as it goes back to your ability to develop systems, right?
Yes.
And having it be
every day is something new. And the recipes online, I know a lot of people don't say it. Those recipes I post, I really do cook them.
That's cool too. So every day you have a different theme like that?
Every day we have different themes. We're built out over a month to 2 months in advance on everything. And it's anything from video to sharing this podcast once it's complete and pulling it down and sharing what we do, and it's an erroneous amount of items. We probably have over 100 and something articles already ready and loaded for the next couple, including events in Tampa Bay.
I got a couple rapid fire questions for you. We're a little bit tighter on time today than I would like. I feel like I can talk to you for another hour just about these different causes. So we'll have to have you come back for another episode.
And I can have Liette come back, the founder of Believe With Me as well.
Yeah, that would be great. We can do even more than one guest at the same time and have a little conversation. So that sounds good. For people who might not know you that well personally, Whitney, so I know you mentioned already your husband, I know, lives in DC some of the year, right? Or a lot of the year. He works up in that area with the government. And so you don't have kids other than your fosters, right?
Yeah. Other than Liette's like 16 children, she has a lot of children, and I love them dearly, and so I like everybody else's kids. So if you need another aunt, I'll be there for you. So
you're speaking to a guy with 5 young ones, so we're going to take you up on that.
Spoil them rotten and send them home. So.
Now, what do you love to do for fun when you just get a chance to kind of hang out and relax? What are some of your hobbies and interests?
I love scuba diving. We have dove in the Maldives, Barbados, St. Lucia. Oh my gosh. There's so many other places. About once a year, we do scuba diving. We're wanting to go to St. Croix and several different places. Actually, I love scuba diving, but I also love learning about the island and giving back to the community. You know, Barbados is
Of course you do. If you're going to be involved with it, you got to be able to give back somehow.
Yeah,
right?
So Barbados is the only, they call themselves Off the Chain, is the only non-volcanic Caribbean island out there. New little tidbit, but scuba diving is my heart, and cooking. Sur La Table, if you would like me to cook with you, I will. I know you're down here, but I love to cook.
It sounds like you can follow Whitney to hear more recipe tips as well. She throws those out on social media too.
Yep. So scuba diving is the only place where my cell phone does not work. So I like to get that 1 hour underwater break every once in a while. So
don't we all? Yeah. I've actually never scuba dived. It sounds like it would be amazing though if you know what you're doing.
If you are
Rob's shaking his head. No, I don't know what that means.
If you're
you might have had a bad experience. I don't know.
If you're no, I was too. If you're absolutely terrified of scuba diving, I was terrified.
I don't think I'm afraid of it. I would love to do it. I just, for whatever reason, never have.
So Woods and Water in Brandon, Florida, the Ceclas, Ed and Eddie are the owners. If you are terrified of scuba diving and you really want to try it, they are probably the best in the industry. They are both probably some of the most recognized master scuba divers in the entire United States, and Ed Cecila in the world has been recognized. And it's in Brandon, Florida. Like, there's no water there,
right?
But they are hands down. I've been to a lot of different places for people to get their licensing for scuba diving. Woods and Water, hands down, is the best scuba dive instructor I've ever met. He makes you feel extremely comfortable.
Good to know.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out there to the scuba diving team.
Yes.
That might be a follow up for some people that are watching. Do you have a favorite food to cook or eat?
Anything extremely difficult to make. Right now,
you like the challenging stuff.
Right now, I'm into focaccia bread. Okay. If anybody has a really good white bread recipe, I've failed several times. Failed to try again, but it doesn't work. But focaccia bread. Garlic, basil, and herb. I just made a bourbon brown sugar steak sauce the other day, and intricate soups. Anything that has to do with 2 to 3 day recipes. Making my own pasta, canning, jellies, jams.
Oh man, having you over just to cook dinner would probably be a treat.
I will say we're very into cooking. We've made rabbit braised red wine, rabbit stew before, and deer chili.
I've had that before. It's delicious.
So I will say we love Michelin star restaurants to try them. We have been to a couple, which we're very proud of, but there are some dishes I can make a little better at home. Pretty much anything difficult to make that takes hours, I'm all for. Anything
complex. Do you
complex.
have a favorite book or author maybe, or seminar even, or even a podcast that you feel like has made an impact on you personally or professionally?
Professionally, I would say Craig Proctor. It's a family. It's probably I've been to other coaching programs before, and they are probably one of the most intricate and family oriented, and really truly willing to help you. And you get a one-on-one coach like myself. I have several students. I have over 10 just in the Tampa Bay area that you actually might even be affiliated with that you don't know that I coach.
Nice.
So I'm very proud of that. So professionally, Craig Proctor associations and everything that they do. Book-wise, if you're asking me, anything Dan Kennedy. Kennedy Marketing great. Systems, Dan Kennedy.
No BS.
No BS marketing.
The No BS series.
Yes. So Dan Kennedy, just straightforward. I'm an analytical person, so that helps me out a lot.
He's like the godfather of marketing, it seems like.
And I would say something that would humble a lot of people is the Rocket Fuel books, the visionary and the integrator and the implementer. You really need to humble yourself and understand what part of the business you actually fit into. I'm more of like the visionary and understanding the systems, but then I put the system together in my office. Marby in my office is the implementer. She implements all of our systems. So I can tell her what to do all day long, envision it, and create all these statistics and strategies to work with, but she puts it all together and makes it work.
So important to have those people in your organization and to be aware enough to know what your strengths are and what things that you need to get supplemented, right?
Yes.
And that is really the key, I think, to having a great organization, is having that ability to identify that and then, of course, fulfill it. All right, we're going to wrap up here with one last question, which is what I call our legacy question. So when you think about when the day does come that you can kind of look back and be like, what am I most proud of? What do I most want to be remembered by? What do you think would mean the most to you, Whitney, when you would think about your legacy?
Honestly, it would be the article. It would be the charity work. Every single year, like I was nominated last year for your charity award, and man, I was like, dang it, I didn't get it because I couldn't promote the Freedom 4 Miler. That was like literally the only thought. It wasn't I didn't get it. It was I didn't get to promote the Freedom 4 Miler. So legacy being just giving back to the community and trying to teach other realtors how to give back to the community through amazing top producing work. So it's not about me. I don't want to be the one recognized for what I do. I want my students who can give back to be recognized for what they do. Their top producer awards. I've won several Quantum Leap, Breakthrough Performance, several Florida awards. Very proud of. But this, I know every single time you send something out of what do you want to do, I don't want the cover. I want the cover for my charity. I want the cover for this.
No doubt.
The charity work is the most important to me and giving back.
It's awesome. Well, that's kind of what how I was introduced to you was really through the charity connection. And now, of course, talking to you even deeper here today, I can tell why you're so passionate about it. And it's obvious that for people that are involved with it, I can see why you're able to rally the troops behind whatever the cause is. So it's been a real pleasure to have you on the show today and dive into it a little bit more. Like I said, we're going to have you back because there's a lot of stuff I'd like to dive into deeper if we had more time, and we'll do it on another episode. But we're going to end the way we always do, which is with a challenge to the audience. Every time you listen to a podcast, you should be thinking, what is one action step that I can take from this conversation that's going to help move me forward, right? Whether that's personally or professionally. Maybe you're somebody who might need to talk to Whitney about her coaching program, and you're thinking, I can definitely use a coach, right? Maybe you're somebody who wants to really get involved on this community side that Whitney talked about and this charitable side, and it really resonates with you, but you're not exactly sure how to start it or what to do or who you can rally. Whitney would be a great resource, I think, for you to talk to, learn exactly what she's doing. Or maybe there's a cause like this one that you just love the cause and you didn't even know it existed and you want to start supporting it, whether that's through your time or your money or whatever it might be. I'm sure that could be a step, right, that you can take, but do something. Tony Robbins always talks about that if you don't take an action step, then you're just going to forget, the value of this time. And you guys invested your energy to listen to this podcast, so make sure you do something from it to be able to move forward. So we will see you, of course, on the next episode of Tampa Bay Real Producers Podcast, and stay classy. We'll see you then.